What's going on, basketball fans? We were absolutely spoiled last night. With one of the best days of playoff basketball yet, a pair of Game 4s, we saw the stars shine, and I hate to pat myself on the back. I hate to give myself the credit, but I've been saying it all year about Jayson Tatum, about what a superstar really is, how exclusive that club really is, what you have to do, how you have to perform in these games. He has not been consistent. He has not been outputting superstar performances so far in these playoffs. And I don't want to come across as a hater, even though I know that's what I will come across as, because obviously he is a perennial all-star type player, but I don't know what it is. Maybe he's just a nice guy, a very likable, easy to root for star player that garners him this level of attention and praise. Maybe it's playing in Boston. The guy has an amazing supporting cast, amazing system that originally constructed by Brad Stevens. With him at the helm, they have just built it into this, and the continuity level is crazy. Everybody knows their role, and on top of that, you have the best guard rotation. You have the best perimeter defensive trio with White, Brown, and Smart on the perimeter. And not to mention your guys under the basket when Robert Williams is in or Al Horford. The defense on this team is ridiculous. So if Tatum is a superstar, this team should be the favorite, bar none. And maybe this team is the favorite to a lot of people, but you go over in Phoenix, you look at this team, and who's the third best player right now playing on the Phoenix Suns? Who would you say? Chris Paul is out. Their center is useless. Number 22 on the Phoenix Suns, who's getting paid big money, by the way. What is he contributing in this series right now? Landry Shamet. This guy right here. He was their third best player last game. And they scored 130 points. And they evened the series against a one-seeded Denver Nuggets team who, let's be honest, had been looking pretty unstoppable, pretty much a well-oiled machine with Joker at the helm, who they still can't do anything with. But it was the sheer offensive will of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And Booker, by the way, playing with Kevin Durant in the playoffs, yes, it makes it easier for a guy like Devin Booker to excel with a guy like this next to him. But that being said, he has been the best player on the team the entire playoffs so far. And so you take Chris Paul off of this team, and we can debate about how big of a loss this is. Of course, he's a steadying force. He is better to have than not to have. You'd rather have him than Cameron Payne, surely. But even with Chris Paul, that guy is not a go-to scorer. He is not a floor spacer to a large degree. Certainly is not a defensive player. You're surrounding these two guys basically with bench players exclusively, and they are competing against the very best in the NBA right now. And you were seeing the emergence really into superstardom for Devin Booker, because this is just unbelievable stuff. I want you guys to remember last year, for all the people arguing the gravity and the weight of having KD on your team. Brooklyn Nets, first round last year against the Boston Celtics. Tatum outplays Kevin Durant. I will give him the credit for that. But when Kevin Durant is facing doubles the entire series, what did Kyrie Irving do? He folded. They didn't win a single game. Fast forward to this year. This is still Kevin Durant. This is not a worse version of Kevin Durant. Devin Booker is carrying the load for this team, and it seems like every time he gets into that mid-range, he just can't miss. He's the better shooter. He gets to that spot. Having a pull-up mid-range game, I cannot explain the importance in this sort of game, being an ISO scorer, that you have to score your team's points. These other guys are not going to save you. Driving, kicking to three-point shooters, we saw down the stretch of that game in Philly. Marcus Smart ends up with the ball. That's not going to cut it. You got to be the guy to take that shot. You got to be able to stop on a dime and just shoot over a defender from 20 feet, because that's what this guy is going to do. And let me just say, for all the people that don't really see this as an argument at this point, this is kind of like a victory lap for me, because I've been saying this. I have the receipts. You've been watching my videos. You know how I feel, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I saw Devin Booker doing this. Like, these two guys, these are dribble, pull-up, perimeter scoring guys. They can do it all on the basketball court, but we know why they're on the court. It's about getting a basket. It's about scoring. Who do you trust more to just get you a basket? I mean, Tatum is the better three-point shooter here, but when defense gets tight, you need the easier ones. You need to be able to get into the lane. And Jayson Tatum, I will commend him on his ability to get easy baskets, get layups. I felt like in this game, he had just an awful first half, and that whole second half was just drives to the basket. He's getting to the rim. He's getting easy ones. He's doing what he absolutely can at the basket, but he is not creating shots 15 plus feet from the basket where defenders, they just got to shake their head like they can't do anything. He doesn't see a hand. Like, Devin Booker does not see anybody on the court when he pulls up for this shot. That zone that he is so locked into, and we've seen him enter it now 3 times during this playoffs at least, where it just doesn't feel like anybody can affect him at all from a defensive standpoint. That's just not something I see from Jayson Tatum. It's just like a killer. It's kind of just like a killer mentality thing where I don't think a defense fears this guy as much. And you want to talk about the other aspects of basketball game. Devin Booker is playing his best defense of his career right now. He's taking the challenge. We've seen him spend a lot of time on Jamal Murray, but also just in general making plays across the court, just applying himself on that end, and it's been marvelous to watch. He doesn't have the luxury of a Marcus Smart or a Derek White or a Jaylen Brown. I mean, he does have good defenders on his team, but certain guys like Okogie, Torrey Craig hasn't even played really in this series, but Okogie can barely stay on the court anyway because he can't offer anything on offense. So Booker and KD are basically the main perimeter defenders on this team, where you've got to live with other guys like Landry Shamet, who was the hero as the third guy last game, being major defenders on the perimeter. It's just not going to cut it. And being able to still win that game, despite Joker putting up his best scoring game of his career, it speaks volumes, because you really have two guys that are doing everything, which is such a difficult way to play and win in the NBA playoffs. You need to be the best of the best. But the way Devin Booker's been shooting the ball, every time he pulls up for his shot, it feels like he just can't miss. It's going all net. It's a green release. He's got takeover all the time. It doesn't make any sense. These last two games, the efficiency, I've never seen anything like it. We are seeing something truly special, and KD is literally the bus rider again. Like, he is not even the best guy on this team right now. He's taking the backseat, and he should. And I know he had 36. I know he's been putting up the numbers still. He's taking a ton of shots. It's taking him way more shots to get these point totals than Devin Booker, who just doesn't miss. And nothing against KD, but it's just funny. Like, you're jumping team to team just to not be the best guy. This team goes to the finals somehow, and he doesn't win finals MVP. I don't know. I think it would be pretty funny. Still incredible, of course. Like, this team does not have the depth for shit, so I really don't know. I don't think they're going to win this series, to be honest. The fact that they're even tied 2-2 to me is crazy, considering how this thing started, considering what it took just to win a game, or two for matter of fact. But I think we just have to be brutally honest about Jayson Tatum, man. I think we got to stop. I don't know what these agendas are, why we are so quick to anoint a guy like him. Guess he got to the finals. He's been in a lot of conference finals. He's been in a lot of great teams. Devin Booker was in the finals too, and he performed better in his finals than Jayson Tatum did, and that's just the reality of it. So let me know what you guys think. What side do you stand on? Amazing playoffs. NBA is just banging right now. What a day yesterday. Hopefully we get some more banger games in the evening today. Warriors, I think they're going to tie it up. And I got Miami going up 3-1 today. It's going to be, Knicks don't really have any answer. They're out-coached right now. They're out of their depth. Everything is a tough shot for them. It's Brunson or bust, really. So that's going to do it. Peace out.